Good morning, music world. John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about something new for this channel. I'm trying to branch out and film some more videos that aren't just reviews. I might start doing single track reviews as far as new singles go over on TikTok as well. It's something that I've been considering for some time now, but for today I want to highlight some albums that I am truly very much so looking forward to coming down the pipe. For those of you who don't know, I'm a little bit of a neat freak when it comes to my schedule. I usually have my calendar set out months before albums come out just so I could sit through an artist's discography and really, kind of pinpoint how they've grown over the years, what I've liked that they've done, what I haven't liked that they've done. And today I want to chat about a handful of albums coming out between now and May that I am just super stoked to hear for one reason or another, and of course, why. The first album that I want to chat about is this new Chelsea Wolfe record, and yes, by the time that this video comes out, the album is already out. But if you know me, and you know this channel, and you know my style, Chelsea has always been an incredibly important artist to me. Her sounds have truly, and I do mean truly, haunt me. And whenever she rolls around, she's trying something different these days, whether it be the black metal-inspired His Spun, whether it be the Birth of Violence album that dug into a lot of Southern Gothic and Gothic folk. Also, that project she did with Converge, I thought was really underrated. And I've been kind of obsessed with these new singles. They took a while to really grow on me, but they have, mostly because of just how freaky and psychedelic they are. Yeah, this album actually came out yesterday at this point. The review is dropping Tuesday, and I can't wait to chat about it. Also, very much looking forward to the new IDLES album. It is coming out in about a week at this point. Mostly, I'm really excited to hear this album because I'm going to be honest, I've been on a little bit of a mild streak with IDLES. Their first two records are so solid, but I've never, ever been that into Ultra Mono or Crawler. I honestly thought that these albums were kind of mid. But you know what I need right now? I need a rowdy, spit in your face and punch you in it afterwards punk album. And IDLES can definitely do that, especially because these singles have been pretty rowdy. I really, really want to love this new album from IDLES. Yeah, this one is just, this is quite simply me being a very selfish person, this album here. Do I think this album will be any good? No, I have not listened to the singles yet because honestly I'm a little scared to, but there is a freaky electro-funk loving teenager inside of me, and Chromeo's albums for years delivered to me exactly what I was looking for. And while I don't think this album is going to be much of anything good that I enjoy, I will be reviewing it and I probably will be disappointed by it, but you know what? We're going to cross our fingers. Also, MGMT, Loss of Life, it is coming out in a few weeks, and I am just so fascinated to see where this album goes, just because my thoughts on MGMT over the years, they've been a little muddled. I was the guy defending them on records like Oracular Spectacular and Congratulations, and then I was very much the guy running for my life from their self-titled album. But to be perfectly honest, their Little Dark Age album that came out a few years ago, the last time we heard from them, I thought it was their best record. I thought this was them genuinely breaking out of their shell and just coming out with an album that I thought was really creative and, most importantly, genuinely freaking out there. And I do have some reservations going into this thing, especially after that really, really sloppy live album that they put out last year that was not very good. But these new singles seem to be something pretty damn fierce, especially because they seem to be just getting really comfortable in an old school psychedelic sound, and I am just so curious to see where this goes. I have very, very high hopes. Also, believe it or not, the new Schoolboy Q record is one that I am very much curious to hear, just because he's another artist, he's another MC that I should say, that I have had a very long, complicated relationship with. I have heard Schoolboy Q guest features for years that have blown my mind. As a matter of fact, when it comes to a featured artist, he's a guy that I look out for, and he's a guy that I almost always appreciate on a guest feature, but I also have never enjoyed a full-length album from the man. I've enjoyed singles for years, but I've never enjoyed a full Schoolboy Q project. And I really do want to, and fingers crossed this is going to be the one. Also, really looking forward to this new Yard Act album. It's coming out in early March, mostly because my thoughts on the band have changed so much since their debut record. A record at the time that I had no idea anything about, and I kind of shifted my calendar just so I could catch up and chat about this thing. A lot of people hyped that debut album up, but I thought it was just kind of average. I mean, The Overload as an album, they have that classic art punk and post-punk sound down to a T. They really, really did. That's not the issue. The issue to me was they didn't really push it anywhere new. But since the release of this album, I have seen the band live, and they are truly one of the most thrilling and interesting bands to see live right now. I really implore you to go out and see them live. Also, these new singles, one after the other, have been exactly what I wanted to hear from their debut record. This is them taking that classic art punk and post-punk sound and pushing it into the future. This is another one of just me being really selfish. I want this album to be good. I really, really do. The Libertines, when I was a teenager, meant more to me than any record from the Arctic Monkeys or Kaiser Chiefs or anybody else coming out of the UK sort of post-punk revival scene. Their energy, their storytelling, the songwriting, it just always has meant so much to me. And do I have the highest of high hopes? I really honestly don't. Honestly, a lot of this is nostalgia, and that's why this is me being selfish. But I haven't hated the singles leading up to this thing, and I think that it can go a good way. Oh my God, I swear to God, if Justin gets his head out of the woods or wherever it was the last time we heard from him and gave us a true blue pop album that I think that we all deserve, there will be nobody happier than me. And selfish, it's not bad per se, but Justin, we need a good pop record right now. Please, please, God. Also, really interested to hear this new Vampire Weekend record. Listen, my relationship with Vampire Weekend has not been an easy one over the years. I was the guy thinking that they were so overrated with their first two albums, but by the time that Modern Vampires of the City was done, I was so enthralled by their music that I went and really fell in love with their first two records for the first time again. But Father of the Bride, back in 2019, I thought was just really kind of middle of the road as an album, even if Harmony Hall was my favorite single of the year. However, I have, of all of these records that I've chatted about today, probably the strongest reservations on this new Vampire Weekend. For one, this will be their first record without Rostam, and that to me sounds like something can go one or two ways. Like either this could be an absolute disaster or, an interesting new chapter. But also, Ezra said in an interview lately that this is going to be Vampire Weekend at their grittiest. Do we want that? Yeah, the ball is most certainly in your court. And finally, this Justice record that is coming out in a few months. Listen, my hopes for this record are very, very low. Lower than Flo Rida himself. Mostly because that debut record from Justice was so good, but ever since, I have not been able to even remotely sit through a Justice project. Yeah, fool me once, shame on me, but fool me 3 times at this point, and I'm going to be completely honest. I think that these new singles that they dropped are okay at best, especially the one with Tame Impala. It's just kind of okay. I don't know how much more heartbreak I can deal with this band, and I know that we're not getting like another Crosses record, but like, come on, just give me something that I could sit through this time around. I'm begging you. So these are a bunch of albums that are coming out within the next couple of months that I'm just completely really looking forward to for one reason or another. Even if I don't have the highest hopes, I'm genuinely curious to see where these projects are going to go, as well as a slew of other albums. And I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this going forward whenever I have the time. If you ever want to see me rank an artist's discography or something else for a video, feel free to leave a comment down below. And until next time, have a great day, friends.